Hello. Today I'm going to talk about stem cells and how important it is for them to take long rests. Like we sometimes need to take a nap, stem cells need to take long naps. Most of our tissues have stem cells. Take our skin. Our skin regenerates every 28 days. The top surface of our skin, which is 30 layers thick, has to recover the whole body every 28 days. That's an incredible feat, and it can only happen because our skin has epidermal stem cells, which divide and replenish the dying skin cells. To stay quiescent, stem cells have to do a few things. They have to reduce their use of energy. They have to live under low oxygen conditions. They have to use less nutrients. They produce less protein. In fact, stem cells which are not dividing are smaller than stem cells which are dividing, which makes sense because dividing cells have to enlarge first, add more protein, add more tissues into the cell before they divide into two cells. The same thing that makes stem cells quiescent can help change proliferating cells into quiescent cells. So if you take proliferating cells and you put them in a low nutrient, low oxygen, low energy environment with no growth factors, no stimulation, they become quiescent. And this is important to know because researchers are using this fact to find stem cells in unusual places. When an organism dies, most of its tissue dies within 2 to 3 days. So muscle cells, heart muscle, skin, brain cells, and so on all die within 2 to 3 days, except for stem cells. Stem cells enjoy having this very stressful environment of low oxygen, no nutrients, and a lot of acid and necrotic tissue. Stem cells move into even more quiescence because of this high stress, low nutrient environment. And researchers have been taking tissues from cadavers or mice who have experimentally been researched and killed. And they've waited several days with the dead organism at 4 degrees centigrade and then extracted the tissue from that organism, either from the bone marrow or from muscle or from the brain, and then extracted the stem cells from that necrotic tissue and have found that stem cells are actually still living. They look like they're dead, they're in suspended animation, but they can be cultured in the right environment, and some of those cultured cells can regenerate in animal models back to produce new bone marrow or new muscle. Even muscle from humans that have been dead for 17 days have been found to still have regeneration potential. 17 days. Who knew? Unfortunately, there's a flip side to this one. Stem cells become hardier the less they have around them, and that also applies to cancer cells. Cancer cells and cancer stem cells do very well in a hostile environment. And you throw chemotherapy at cancer cells, you throw radiation, and you kill most of the cancer, but unfortunately, the cancer stem cells find a way to become quiescent because of what you're doing to it. It becomes quiescent and in suspended animation, and sometimes, unfortunately, people who've had a remission for years experience a relapse of the cancer because of those surviving cancer stem cells. In summary, stem cells need to be quiescent so they can survive long periods of time. And we need our stem cells in our body, and we need healthy and young stem cells. When stem cells are placed under stress or low nutrient environments, they survive for long periods of time, and that is good because they stay patiently waiting until our tissues need to replenish or regenerate.